What's going on, crew? Welcome back to the weirdest corner of the internet, TikTok Reruns, for your daily dose of digital chaos. I've scoured the depths of TikTok, so you don't have to. You read the title, you seen the thumbnail, so here's a sneak peek.
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. Hatred of immigrants, contempt for the truth, greed, and the abuse of power. There is a sinister deep state diabolically plotting to what? We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
But before we get started, make sure y'all hit that like button one time. Those are still free. Shout out to my new subscribers. Shout out to my OGs as well. We on the road to 20K. So if you haven't, hit subscribe. We upload multiple times a week, so hit the notification bell and you won't miss out.
If you don't know, during the Charlie Kirk assassination, there was a significant number of young men wearing maroon shirts. Originally, Candace Owens was the first person to point this out, and everybody called her crazy. However, I found proof that she was right. So after she made this claim, a lot of people called her crazy, but then there was also a good amount of people from the military that were saying that's absolutely a thing that the military does during secret operations in public areas. They choose a color of the day. So I started thinking, right? I was like, what if I searched in the DOJ files the term color of the day? And what do you know? I find 40 results of different FBI briefings talking about a color of the day. And every single one is unredacted. You can see what the color of the day was for that day for whatever military operation was going on. Now, most of the details for the military operation is redacted. However, on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, the morning of, before his death, they established a color of the day for a SITREP, which is just a military situation report. And the color of the day is redacted. Out of 40 different files mentioning a color of the day for secret operations, the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination is the only one that has a color of the day redacted. I hope for the best with that one. If you can get this word out there that Charlie Kirk's assassination was absolutely a ploy that the government put on, please spread this.
When I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And this is steel that was, you remember the width of the windows in the World Trade Center, folks. I think you know, if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through this steel? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously, because I just can't imagine anything being able to go through that wall. Most buildings are built with the steel is on the inside around the elevator shaft. This one was built from the outside, which is the strongest structure you can have.
Them files have been out for how many days and 0 arrests? Let that sink in. 0 arrests, and we got all these names and all these files. And you know why that is? Because if you understand the power structure of everything, just billionaires in general, Jeffrey Epstein was a middle manager at best. At best. He was a middle manager at best. He was doing this for someone, right? Collecting this for someone. He was just vetting, right? He's that one manager in the corporation that takes it too far and kind of does too much, right? He was doing this for someone. He's being told what to do by someone. And if you don't believe that, I got some news for you, basically. But back to the 0 arrest, that's wild to me. And I really don't understand it at all. Because you're telling me we get name after name after name. Ohio State, he was paying a gynecologist at Ohio State. For what? Kitty pictures. Come on, man.
This is the greatest! 4 conspiracy theories that were proven to be true. 1. Operation Northwoods was a plan to commit terrorist attacks on American citizens and blame Cuba to justify invading. The Joint Chiefs of Staff proposed bombing U.S. cities, sinking boats full of refugees, and staging fake attacks to create public support for war. President Kennedy rejected it in 1962, but the documents weren't declassified until 1997. 2. Operation Mockingbird was the CIA secretly paying journalists and media companies to publish propaganda and influence public opinion. They had assets at major newspapers, magazines, and TV networks spreading government-approved narratives while censoring stories that made them look bad. 3. The Tuskegee syphilis experiment let black men die from untreated syphilis for 40 years to study the progression, while telling them they were receiving free health care, proving the government conducted racist medical experiments on its own citizens. 4. MK-Ultra was a secret mind control program where the CIA dosed thousands of Americans with LSD and other drugs without their consent. From 1953 to 1973, they experimented on prisoners, mental patients, prostitutes, and random civilians to see if they could control minds and erase memories. Declassified documents prove the program was real and far worse than anyone imagined.
I have ever seen!
Somebody sent me this beautifully made AI video exposing the web of connections that Epstein was entangled with. It's supposed to show you how deep this really goes. You're supposed to see how many you can get right. That's a real case in the room of faces. So it's supposed to be like finding these Easter eggs, like the pizza. We know about the pizza, Nickelodeon. Let me know how many you get right. I'm sure there's going to be some that I miss. Oh, Pusha T, Jay-Z in the back. That's wild. Bob Barker, The Price is Right, the NBA. The TMZ guy, I forget his name. Ugh. Bill Gates and the lip thing. Chris Tucker and Bill Clinton in the hot tub. John Paul and Mother Teresa. Look how he's clapping. Oh, the Dalai Lama. Who's this? Oh, she's pure evil. That's his little sidekick. Pure evil. This doesn't get any better. The Island Boys, you know, they say that he's their father. I don't think I can mention that one. Activision and Call of Duty, that one killed me. This is so crazy. Bitcoin, that one doesn't surprise me, but I do have a theory about that. It just goes to show you how deep this really was and is. Because just because Epstein's out of the picture doesn't mean it's not still happening. Not Professor X. The Oval Op. We got Barack, Bush. The double Bidens is crazy. If you know, you know. That's wild. You remember the influencer thing when the influencers were invited to the White House, the Epstein case file thing? We got Elon Musk, Jared Kushner, Trump being carried, the McDonald's. That hits. That one hits. The Al Netanyahu. This is crazy, man. And I also wanted to say how genius it was showing the Dome of the Rock in the beginning. Wow.
This is amazing!
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% know is true?
Root canals. There's this YouTube video, which before was a documentary on Netflix before it got pulled after 2 weeks, known as The Root Cause. The Root Cause discusses the big psyop by dental industry and by big pharma to fuck people's health up through root canals. You can't even watch it in the United States. You have to turn on a VPN because it's banned by the American Dental Association, which is in bed with big pharma. And I can say that because dentists can't say it because they'll lose their license, but I can say it because I don't have a license. I had a root canal recently removed, and once they did the DNA biopsy on the tooth, they found 20 different types of parasites growing and living inside of my jaw. So stay away from fluoride, and now stay away from root canals.
They say every single holiday that we celebrate is celebrating one of the 7 deadly sins. Every single holiday.
Okay.
Think about it. So the easiest one, Valentine's Day, celebrates the sin of lust.
Okay.
Christmas celebrates, here, I'm gonna show you, bro.
Okay, let me see.
Check this.
Christmas.
It's a whole list.
What does Christmas
Okay,
do?
boom. Easy one. Ready? Valentine's Day represents lust for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. Now, Thanksgiving, that celebrates the sin of gluttony.
Gluttony, yeah, because you're eating.
Because you're eating a lot. You're overeating. You're taking too much more than you need.
Yeah.
Now, Christmas, what do you think that is?
Christmas. Greed?
Greed.
Yeah.
Overconsumption and excess.
Okay.
Right? Wanting more of something.
That makes
We're
sense.
celebrating gifts. We're celebrating gifts. We're not really even celebrating like the birth of Christ because people are so focused on the gifts and shit. Now, Easter. This one's interesting.
I don't know.
The holiday of Easter, what sin would it be?
Easter. I don't know.
Check this out. This one gets deep.
Okay.
So they say it's envy because the Romans were jealous of Jesus, so they murdered him.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Shit.
So St. Patrick's Day, it's sloth because
Why?
people get blacked out drunk.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Now Halloween is what? It's wrath. So scaring and hurting people for fun. With masks, it's wrath.
Oh.
So every single one of the holidays is like a 7 deadly sin.
So
the phone that you have can pick up on your brain's frequency. Have you ever been thinking of something and it just appeared on your phone? Whether you were scrolling on whatever social media app or whatever, it just pops up. Not the fact that they also can hear us and they remember what you search for and they try to show you what you like. But there has been many times where I haven't said a thing or searched for something and it was just a thought and it appeared on my phone, and this has happened on multiple occasions. The phones can pick up on our brain's frequencies the same way reality in this universe does. When you think certain things, you bring it into fruition. You can manifest your destiny. Live in the now and in the present, and watch how things change for you.
I opened the box, and this is in it. And it has some very KKK's cross. Fucking. This was in my box of Velveeta.
So I'll admit, when I first saw that video, I took it with a grain of salt. But upon doing some further research, this is something that's happening very frequently. So all across Pennsylvania for the past few months, people have been finding these bizarre, cryptic, conspiracy-laden notes packaged with their food or other home good items. Someone found one of these notes in a Velveeta box. The person at the beginning found theirs in a Velveeta box. And they've been found in dog food containers, pasta, cake mix, candy, and cookies. Whoever is putting these notes in these boxes has access to a lot of food. Now, obviously, whatever this person is putting on these notes is coded in some way. I haven't really found anybody that's been able to decipher what this note actually means, but it's incredibly offensive and incredibly bizarre, making references to a number of disturbing topics. It really is a mystery. Who has access to this much food? Who's bringing these notes in and who's putting them in boxes? Obviously, whatever this person has tried to do by spreading this message has worked because their message is now blasted all over social media, whatever that message is. But I really hope that they can find who's doing this and question them because, I don't know, it's kind of concerning that this person's able to put this sort of a thing in food. Who knows what else this person could add into food products, especially if they have this sort of access already.
I got a crazy conspiracy for you, TikTok, but this is just for entertainment purposes. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, so if you don't know, Epstein had a second island called Great St. James Island, and this is where I think they held the Hunger Games. If you listen to any of the victims, not just Epstein's victims, but any of the victims of trafficking rings, they all mention being hunted through the woods like dogs. And there is nothing else on this island but these little pathways and just flat out woods. And what's crazy is, this island is even bigger than the other island. And there's nothing on it but these little weird-ass openings that pathways lead to. Like all these paths lead to dead ends. You understand what I mean? Like, they don't go anywhere. There's no buildings, there's no houses, there's only that structure that has the solar panels on it. But other than that, the only thing on this island is this little area, which I think possibly might be the landfill. But if this is where Epstein was dumping his trash, all y'all motherfuckers that go and like jump on his island, sneak on his island, y'all need to go to this little area right here and find out what he's been dumping there, okay? Because that little red spot, suspicious, okay? And I'm pretty sure whatever evidence that is gonna be found, would be found, is probably in that big-ass motherfucking pile right there, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I think every time I look at this little island, big island, that's all I think is Hunger Games. Because I really don't know what else he would use this island for. There's nothing on it. It's given Deer Park Range. Or just hunting grounds. You know, safari shit. I don't know. They're sick fucks. I can't put shit past them. But it just sickens me to my fucking soul.
You still think these things are going to space? Aw, that's adorable. Why don't you let me show you some things that might just cause you to question your belief in that. First, let me just ask you something. Do you even know how fast these space shuttles are supposedly traveling to be able to leave Earth? 17,000 miles per hour, and even faster at 25,000 miles per hour to leave Earth's gravity completely. Do you know how fast that is? Do you know how fast a bullet travels? A bullet speed varies, but it can go up to 3,000 miles per hour. So you're telling me those shuttles are going 8 times faster than a bullet. Have you ever seen them take off? No, seriously. Have you ever watched them take off and then take flight and compared their speed to the clouds? When you get rid of all the noise and you just look at it versus hearing it and seeing the flames, seems suspiciously slow. And remember, they tell us to go 17,000 and up to 25,000 miles per hour. They'll tell you a hypersonic jet speed is defined as anything going Mach 5 or 3,800 miles per hour. And they'll say, well, speeds have been reached of Mach 10 only in unmanned craft like NASA's X-43A. Current manned aircraft have reached about Mach 6.7. Mach 6.7 is 4,500 miles per hour. But there are supposedly dozens and dozens of astronauts who have gone 17,000 miles per hour. Why don't we look at what an actual hypersonic jet taking off looks like compared to a NASA rocket, or a SpaceX rocket, in fact. Notice the clouds? Keep watching.
Plus 30 seconds, Starship.
You want to see what a hypersonic sled traveling at 6,500 miles per hour looks like? And well, some of you might say, perspective, you're so close, you gotta get a further vantage point. Well, okay. Still not far enough away? Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, fire.
It almost looks like it's moving as slow as if you released a line on a helium balloon and added some pyrotechnics to it. Oh, and you want to see what the astronauts look like in there? If they're actually in there.
Lift off.
Why would they put those in there? Visual tricks to make you think it's moving. They're still as can be, because they're not in there. It's a balloon. They launched it. No movement.
Just spectacular. The launch of Soyuz MS-9 and the beginning of Alexander Gerst's Horizons mission to the International Space Station, broadening horizons in science and space exploration.
So again, to review, they tell us that the space shuttles go 17,000 miles per hour, 5 times faster than your fastest bullet, which you cannot see fly. Yet they also tell us that the fastest speed ever reached by a manned craft was 4,500 miles per hour.
That's all I have for now. Catch y'all in the next one.